Hey, what's up guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. Welcome back to another live stream. Happy Sunday, last day of the month. It is November the 30th, and we have got action brewing on the Earth-facing side of the sun. We've been monitoring this activity on the back side of the sun now for probably somewhere in the neighborhood of the last 2 weeks over here at the Stereo Ahead, COR2. Welcome everybody to the live stream. Don't forget to hit that like button if you would, please. Just pushes the video out there farther, that's all. Hey, how's it going? Azarina, Berlinda, Chad, Sherry, Himes in the house. What's up, Angel? What's going on, guys? You're looking at this is a screen grab I've recorded of the last week of stereo ahead images looking at the side, the right side of the sun, which would be the west from the Earth, and the back side of the sun. And it has been on tilt for the last 7 days, actually the last 10 days, the back side of the sun. We have discovered in the last 24 hours some sort of a bizarre debris field that's either emanated from the sun or it's entered the solar system, or at least the solar system where Earth occupies the space between the Earth and the sun. Something has entered this little territory of our neck of the woods. You're going to see a flash of it, a brief flash of it here in a minute on the stereo ahead. And what was unusual about this discovery, it was tracked. There went something right there. Did you see that? I'm going to take you back for a closer view of that thing right there, whatever it was that went darting across the screen. There's another large CME that occurred just a few hours ago. This could be a big deal coming up here in the next few days. And coming up right in here, you're going to see a debris field. I don't know if it comes in from the right, the left, the center, right there. Did you see that? We're going to take a closer look at that here in just a minute, but there's a lot going on the Earth-facing side of the sun, and it's no surprise. We've been waiting on this for days. What's up, Jade Green, Mr. Graham? Susan Donahue. All right, got Star family members in the house. Hey, if you guys want to become a Star family member, the link's down below in the description box. Make sure you hit that like button and also bookmark Sounds of the Seas. That's a soothing collage of sounds of the mighty Pacific Ocean that I put together myself. And if you ever have trouble sleeping, that is guaranteed to help you go to sleep. Looking at a close-up view of the southeastern limb of the sun, that's what we're going to focus on in this video. What's coming in the next few days. Since this is just now visible, here's the Earth-facing side of the sun. The location that we're zoomed in on is right here. Sunspot, one of many sunspots, 4294, right there leading the way. The biggest one back here in the back. This looks like a large Carrington event sunspot. Are you serious right now? Yeah, this is going to be a big deal. It's going to be an overachiever. We're probably going to see not one, but a few X-class solar flares, Jade, coming out of this region right here. These are very dark, complex cores, and these cores contain what they call beta, gamma, delta magnetics. Those magnetics are required to produce X-class solar flares. And not only do we have this highly complex region that we just witnessed all the activity that the huge show that it put on the backside of the sun over here. Let me put it on fast forward. Again, we've been monitoring this for days. It's now facing the Earth. So this energy that you're seeing now just gushing off of the sun, if it happens again, and it will, you can rest assured, it will happen again, it's going to come towards the Earth. The top photo you see right here was a screen grab of the southeastern limb of the sun yesterday. The bottom is a screen grab of today, in fact, just a few hours ago. And you can see this large dark core back here revealing itself. Yet another one that we just talked about. This one here in the center, that would be that one right there, looks even bigger. There's a dark core that's appeared now above this one right here. Not only is there one, yesterday there was one, now there's two. That tells us that this region is growing, and it's been hyperactive for weeks, and it's growing again. Just unbelievable. So they're talking about it over here at spaceweather.com. Really big sunspot alert, in fact. Yesterday they issued a big sunspot alert. Goes on to say they were wrong. It's really big. This image from the NASA's SDO shows the behemoth, which means just massive, colossal sunspot emerging over the southeastern limb of the sun today, and it is a big deal. So guys, that's going to put on a show the next few days. We are more than likely going to see yet another, quite possibly multiples, geomagnetic storms, just like we saw back earlier in the month. These photos you see here are from the first week and a half of November when we saw, these are from November 11th actually. Auroras dipped way down into Alabama and Mississippi, northern Florida. You could even see them down here in Arizona. These are just a few of the hundreds of pictures that I received from all across the country. In fact, all the way up in Canada. I received photos from Mexico. I received photos from, of course, Sweden, Denmark, Iceland, Alaska, all around the world. So we're more than likely going to see more of that activity in the coming days. It's the question is, how's the grid going to hold up? How are the satellites going to hold up? And you know, everything that we depend on for day-to-day life. Coming over here to the homepage of the website, quick look at the GOES X-ray flux, and you can see there's been a steady increase of that the energy. And what it's feeling is the energy coming from this energy that's turning towards the Earth. Some of it's facing the Earth already. More of it is definitely on the way. So we're going to see, like I said, probably it's impossible to say right now at this point. All I can say is the mechanics are definitely in place, and not only with the sunspots and the active regions, but we also have a giant coronal hole to throw into the mix. Are you serious right now? So there's the coronal hole, and you can see part of the equatorial coronal hole is facing the Earth. This is an image from today, just a few hours ago. This thing is huge. Earth is going to be inside the high-speed stream of solar wind probably within 48 hours. And it will remain in this stream for at least 48 hours. So if we have an Earth-directed CME solar flare from this massive sunspot, or a collection of sunspots, anytime during the high-speed stream of solar wind, we're going to get a double dose of solar activity. I mean, it's going to be outrageous, some of the stuff that could go on down here on the Earth here in the next few days. I mean, absolutely outrageous. Right now, looking at the incoming solar storms, there are none at the moment, but that could change in a moment's notice. I'm telling you, there is, like they were saying over here at Space Weather, a sunspot alert. And this isn't all of the action. This is a very large family of sunspots and active regions that are turning towards the Earth literally right now as I do this video. And they're only going to get bigger. I wanted to talk about the debris field or whatever this was that we saw briefly earlier this morning at 6:09 Universal Time. This would be late last night, actually, depending on where you live. But this was detected on the stereo ahead COR2. What is that? Okay, did that come from the sun? Did that come from, I don't know, a rogue comet? I don't know. That is a lot, whatever it may be. But not only was it detected on the stereo ahead, check this out. It was detected on the SOHO LASCO C2. Only it looked slightly different. This is all debris 3 hours later. So it went by the stereo first at 6:09, right down here. You can see. Let me get my handy dandy zoomer here. Check this out. Come on, zoom. Don't let me down now, zoom. There you go. 6:09:05 Universal. That's on the stereo. Coming over here to the SOHO LASCO C2 0936. 3 hours later, it was detected on the SOHO. So what happened? What's going on here? We're looking at asteroid debris, comet debris. Oh, thank you, Tina Valco. Appreciate that. The super sticker. That's very kind. I really do appreciate that, Tina. What do we got going on here, Tina? Some sort of a debris field. Not only one, but two were detected on our two Earth, our main, our primary Earth or Sun observing satellites. That is a big debris field. So I don't know if that came from the sun or something else, but we could see something like that. If we see another one of the coronal, not coronal holes, but proton storms like we've seen in the past, I'll show it again. I showed this yesterday, but I'm telling you, these things are one of a kind. Somebody asked if I would show the storms from May of 2024, and I will in my next video. Let me give you a thumbs up there, Tina. Tina, Star Family member 2. Thank you, Tina. Really appreciate that. Here comes the proton storm right here. This one was from December of 03. These were part of what they call the Halloween storms. And yes, these were quite overwhelming, very large X-class solar flares with Earth-directed CMEs. And they lasted a long time. They lasted for the better part of, I believe, 2.5, 3 days. That was a very large-scale event. Well, the sun is acting very similar to that right now. The only difference is we have another component. The large coronal hole that's facing the Earth, this debris that's going through the inner solar system. There was an email. The email is working fine. Susan and Jade. So keep the emails coming, guys. And since we're here, if you guys have any photos or videos that you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. If you have any large videos that won't attach to the email, then you know what? Sometimes that happens. Come over here to the red tab that says Have a Large Video. Simply click on that, and I'll show you what it does. It is a Dropbox. Drag and drop your videos into the Dropbox, but somewhere, please put your first name, date, and location, and I will take it from there. In fact, I've got something that I want to share with you guys from the Dropbox. Real quick, I want to just touch base on this. This was a video that I analyzed that was sent in by Stephen out of Northern Ireland. Stephen saw this up in the daytime sky. It's kind of meandering around. It wasn't moving fast. It wasn't moving slow. It wasn't moving up or down. It really wasn't doing too much of anything, but just sitting there kind of wobbling around. And Stephen, I just wanted to tell you, in case you're watching, I did analyze your video, and what those appear to be are balloons. Sometimes videos that are sent in are identifiable. They're not always mysterious or unknown, and that's just simply one of those cases. Those were simply balloons. So once I determined that they were balloons, I didn't go in any farther. In this video, however, this is a collection of videos, you're going to see some things that aren't necessarily explainable. Miss Cindy out of Southeast Washington looked up and saw either gravity waves, some sort of mysterious, like louver-looking lines up in the daytime sky above Southeast Washington just the other day. She took that video, shared it with me. I'm sharing it with you guys. Coming up, we're going to see something that's unidentifiable. I've got like 3 or 4 videos here in a collage that I put together for you guys to see. I get videos every day from people all around the world of various, mysterious things. Sometimes they're mysterious and sometimes they are not. Jade Green, thank you, Jade, for the sticker there. Appreciate that. Here's a sky full of, some sort of roll cloud sent in by Carrie out of Kabul, Missouri. How about that? 1, 2, 3, just as far as she could see in that direction. Turn the camera to the right. You can see they extend as far as she could see in that direction, which I'm assuming is, west or north. The sun's over there. That might be east. And then over here, that's south. So that would be to the east. And then you can see these roll clouds, whatever they were, that just filled the entire sky, were everywhere. Edgar F. out of Hartley Bay, British Columbia. Edgar F. looked up and noticed this big old split sky. And you can see that very sharp line. That's a frontal system. That's warm air and cold air colliding. And they, on this day, formed a perfect, what looked like a blanket up in the sky. Isn't that wild, Jennifer? Jennifer, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Here, I just modified it to an inverted format. Light is dark, dark is light. And look at how crisp that line is. I've got another one to share with you guys that's being described, Jennifer, as an ocean in the sky. You can't make this stuff up. People are seeing some pretty wild stuff. And you know what? You don't have to make it up. I get accused sometimes of sharing AI stuff. I don't share AI stuff. A lot of the stuff that you guys have seen, well, in fact, the vast majority of the stuff that you guys have seen on my YouTube channel was pre-AI. So, and I don't use AI today, when it comes to videos. You guys are wide awake and on the ball. You guys don't miss a trick. And right here is one of these examples of not missing a trick. Glenn Hafner out of East Vancouver, Canada. On TikTok, his name is Hawkeye1947. Looked up and saw that in the nighttime sky. Wasn't a typical airplane, and to be quite honest with you guys, that is not a typical drone. That thing is big, and it's got a very bright pulsating light on it. Honestly, I think it's a TR-3B. It's one of those triangle crafts. But what was weird about this video, it was being chased, if you noticed at the very beginning, by white orbs. Watch the orbs chasing this thing. There goes the craft, very obvious, you can't miss it. Right there goes an orb. There's another one that comes into the field of view. Right there, it took off. That wasn't a bird. He was describing them as white orbs. And to be honest, there were more. I zoomed in close enough, so close that it took out some of the orbs that were chasing this thing. But there's more. Jade Green, thank you. I appreciate that. Big thumbs up and a heart. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jane. But there's more here. It's that I zoomed in so close it took them out of the video. But there were white orbs chasing that thing. There goes another one right there, just zipping through the sky. So this one is classified as semi-unexplainable. Could be a triangle craft. It wasn't making any noise, wasn't acting like an airplane or a hobby drone. British Columbia, again, Papa Beebs, 11/24/25. Look at this here. I'm going to zoom in close. Something burning, falling through the sky. Dipped in behind these trees right here. Watch when we zoom in close. Wasn't a rocket. Check it out, watch. Right there, the second witness said something coming in through the atmosphere. And they said it was dropping. It kind of looked like a comet, but he said, I don't think it's a comet. I don't think it was a comet either. Some sort of fiery debris that was falling through the sky. I've gotten more videos to share. I've gotten somewhere here. Got so many windows and tabs open right now. I've got one put together that I'm going to share with you guys here coming up soon of more fiery debris falling through the sky. Unbelievable. There's been a pretty decent uptick in the fiery debris falling from the sky here recently. I don't know if it's due to the hyperactivity of the sun, kind of stirring things up, if it's got something to do with a large asteroid that just went through on the 24th that was not traveling alone. The NEO list increased exponentially following the flyby of the 1,000-foot wide asteroid by a factor of 16. 16 that were newly discovered after it went by. That's not counting the ones that they didn't discover. So there were probably more that they didn't discover than the 16 that they added to the list following the 1,000-foot wide asteroid. So maybe it's got something to do with that. I don't know. You never know. Hello, Jade. Michael, California, tell if he received. I've got a lot of videos I'm still working on, Jade. A lot of videos. So if you haven't seen your videos that you guys have sent in, just know that I am working on them. Sometimes I get, it just depends on the day, to be honest. Some days I'll get a lot, and then some days I won't get near as many. And it's on those days, those slower days, that I try to get caught up on things. So, and even if there's, not anything mysterious, like the video that I just shared with you guys from Northern Ireland, I do review those too. Even though it was balloons, I didn't know they were balloons until I went in and checked. I did zoom in, I made some modifications, and I could see the balloons being manipulated by the wind, and they were reflecting light off the sun just at certain times, at certain angles, and I could tell by the shape. They were balloons filled with helium. So sometimes this stuff is unidentifiable, and sometimes it is not. So anyway, guys, keep the videos and photos coming. You guys are all equipped with high definition recording devices. Everybody is, so you can record something in the sky, in a moment's notice. You don't need a tripod. All you need is a quick hand. There have been times that I wish I was a little faster, sitting outside early in the morning. 2 mornings, it was dark. It was in like October, early November of 2018 and I believe 2017. Both years was early in the morning. I was outside, was having a cup of coffee, and honestly just enjoying the stars, the moon. There was no moonlight, and we had a pretty decent sky. We could see a lot of stars. And a big triangle flew over. Completely caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that. I was just sitting there looking at the stars, drinking coffee. But I was not quick enough to get my phone, because I had my phone sitting there on the table. By the time I grabbed my phone, it was already gone. But sometimes, you do have time to get your phone out and get a video. And if you do, send them in. I'll analyze them, and we'll try to figure out what it is that you may have seen. Just like the video out of Eastern Vancouver. I'm pretty sure he saw a large, looked like a large TR3B triangle. That's what it looked like. And that big, bright, flashing light that looked very intense. That's usually when it's at semi-full capacity when that light does that, because that thing can go completely rogue. Those lights can turn completely off and you don't even know it's there, because the color is the exact same color as the nighttime sky. That's what they made it that way on purpose, to make it stealth. Obviously when the lights were on, because it was flying low, they had the lights on and it wasn't as stealthy, obviously. But the color is sky black. That's exactly what it is. That's why they blend in with the night sky so well. You're looking at a long play of various photos and videos that have been sent in over the years, like that big void right there in the daytime sky that just happened to look like a triangle. So once again, guys, back to the sun and the origin of the video and the thumbnail of the video. In fact, I made the thumbnail with the SOHO and the stereo spacecraft's recent observations. These are less than 24 hours old. Some sort of a debris field was detected between the Earth and the sun, actually between the stereo spacecraft and the sun over here on the right, the Earth and the sun over here on the left. So maybe this debris field was moving from right to left through the solar system. I don't know, but it looked to be pretty decent size, whatever it was. About as big, if not bigger, than the sunspots that are turning towards the Earth, that are growing, by the way. At the top, you're looking at yesterday's. The bottom are today's, 24 hours apart, and you can see there's more sunspots growing in the last 24 hours than there were yesterday. So we're going to see some very strong, intense solar activity the next 7 to 10 days. So be ready, guys. Have your cameras ready. Hopefully the skies will be clear and there'll be auroras in your location. If there are, make sure you send your photos in. All right, guys, listen, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. As always, have a super day and be safe out there.